What's going on, fam? This is the game plan for Wednesday, August 26th. So let's get straight into it. Oh, I have three watches for today. Today should be a good day. We got some data coming out an hour before open. PCE, which is the Fed Preferred Inflation Gauge, GDP, and some other data coming before open. And then today also we have Nvidia earnings after close. So Nvidia earnings after close. So we won't be messing with Nvidia today at all. So tomorrow should be another good day as well. But let's get straight into it. All right. So the first watch I have is SPY. So SPY is ranging right now, right? SPY is in consolidation. It has no clear direction. It's just moving back and forth. Um, in between 768 and 762. So those will be the levels on watch for tomorrow. 768 being the top, 762 being the bottom right now. And then I'll break that down here in a second. But first, I want to point out what the higher time frame structure is doing, right? So SPY, after that strong new all-time high we made, is pulling back right now. It looks like a bull flag, right? And we just above previous all-time high, which is at 760, right? So previous all-time high 760 right here. It's also a psychological level. So ideally, we want to see SPY come back around 760 or even come and fill this gap down to 757 area before going higher. But anything can happen, right? We can end up breaking out of this range today and we can go higher from there. So it's all gonna, we just gotta wait and see how we're gonna open. We could gap as well too, but we do got those key levels on SPY. So it's one thing we know for sure: a move is coming soon. And this week we have the catalyst to definitely take us out of this range. So we'll be looking at that. And let's go to the hourly where you can see this a lot clearer. All right, clear as day. All right, so this is the hourly, right? So we can see the clear bottom here at 762, which is also last week's low, right? So 762 is also last week's low. So you already know a break and hold below 762 is downside, right? So the bottom of the range is 762, the top is 768, right? So you see when we part our raise here, you can see clear as day. And all SPY is doing is just ranging in between this range right here, right? So this is a consolidation phase. We don't want to be entering SPY within this phase because it's not, the juice just ain't worth the squeeze. I mean, you see how the movement is. There's no clear direction. It's bar coding, right? It's straight sideways. So you take entries on these contracts. It's more than likely you're gonna get chopped up, burned up because of the theta time decay on those, right? So the way we approach ranges is we just wait at the top and we wait at the bottom. The range could break or the range could still hold, right? It can come down here, hold 762, and then bounce back up and come back and test 768, and it can reject and do the same thing, or it can break out, right? So we just got to make sure we wait for confirmation, right? We don't want to be first to the party. So let's say we do go upside, right? So we don't want to take the 768 breakout. We want to let it break, come back, test and hold that 768 to confirm it's the breakout, and then we'll get in. We'll take upside entries at that point, and then we can target the highs and everything like that. Now we could fail too, so we may break, and then it could come back, close back under 768, and then the sellers may step in there and take it back down. So that's why we don't want to be first to the party. Just got to be patient, let the direction get picked, and we'll get in on a retest, right? So same for the downside. We come down to 762 and break below. We won't get in on the first entry. We'll let it break, retest anywhere around that level, and if it holds, that'll be our downside entries, right? If it reclaims, then we'll probably take upside entries. We'll stop at low. So either way, we should have really good risk on this if we are patient enough to get the right entries. So, and this is a $6 range, right? 762 to 768 is a $6 range on SPY, which implies a $6 move on the breakout, right? And simple as this, if you take the size of the range and you apply it to, right, you apply it to the breakout, and you plot that level, that'll give you about the measured move, right? So same for the downside, and then plot the breakout or breakdown, I should say, right? That's the measured move. So once this range breaks out to either side, the measured move, ideally will be to these levels. And note that we have that gap too. We have that gap below. So that downside move will be real nice. Because keep in mind, that will be breaking the range. That'll be breaking last week's low. And then we have that gap in that range target to target if we do get that. So that'll be real clean if we do get that. So let's see what the market wants to give us. So that's my first watch is SPY. Next is going to be Tesla. All right, Tesla is a big mover. What I like on Tesla is that Tesla is in consolidation here as well. How do we know that? Right, because this way we set a range, right? Made a high, made a low. The next day we came back and we're inside of that range, right? And then now yesterday we came back and we're inside of that range, which is inside the previous range. So cool trick with this, right? If we just draw these higher lows, right? Draw these higher lows and then draw the lower highs, right? And then if we bust down to the hourly, we should be able to see the clear. Yeah, see? So there we go. It's a little extended, but let me bring it here so we can see, right? Clear consolidation. So what I like on Tesla is 468. No, my apologies. 348. 348, right? 348, which is basically this whole consolidation area bottom, right? The bottom of this, and it's actually it's the first candle. The candle that made the range is basically that low. Yeah, so that low is 346.9. So 346.9 to 348 area is what is on watch for Tesla, right? So this does look more downside for now, but it being a consolidation, it can go either way. So if it breaks above yesterday's high, then we could take it up, and then we still got this gap to fill. And then if we break below this 348, then we could take downside. Same thing like SPY. If we break below, we won't take the first move. I'll let it break, retest, and if it holds, we'll get entries on the pullback. So Tesla's real clean. And we've been consolidating for 1, 2, 3 days now. So if you know anything about consolidations, big moves come after consolidations, right? High percentage moves comes after consolidations, right? Picture a consolidation phase like a snake, right? Like a snake, and it's coiled up, getting ready to attack, right? So it looks real small because it's coiled up and tight. And then when it strikes, it launches out, right? And it goes further out than what you expect, straightens out. Picture a consolidation phase like that, right? And when it's ranging in consolidation, it's coiled up. It's waiting to strike, right? Now, once it breaks out or breaks down, that's that strike right there. That's that extension, right? So that's where we're going to see those high percentage moves. That's where we're going to see the rallies, the sell-offs. So we got SPY and we got Tesla consolidating at the moment. Another thing, what we got on Tesla is if we on the daily here, we throw a fib from the last high, swing low right here. We can see that we are rejecting the 50% retracement, right? So nice rejection here and almost fill that gap. And it's really like a big old bear flag, right? Let me draw this out real quick. It's like a big old bear flag here. So Tesla might be, getting ready for a nasty down move. And the way we measure this move, right, we take the initial trend. The initial trend, which was this move here, this high to low move. And then if we apply this to the breakout, let's say we were to break below 348, right? Look at this move. This says Tesla is going to 210. 210. Now, this is not going to be an overnight move or anything. It could, but I don't expect that. This is a daily time frame, so this is, going to be over some time, weeks to months, if this is true. So I just wanted to point that out. So let's clean this chart up real quick. So you see, we got a few confluences on Tesla, looking real good. So we just gotta watch that 348 level. And we don't want to be first to the party because we see that it is demand for right now. So we don't want to get in early and then they ended up buying it up, and then we get caught in a reversal. We don't want to do that, so we just stay patient. But just notice, right, it's making lower highs, right? Made a high, lower high, lower high, and it's keeping the same bottom right here, right? It's not breaking it yet, right? So this bottom, it keeps getting tested. It's going to be getting weaker and weaker. So we can flush this 348. Look out below. Look out below. And we got some targets. We got some targets to the downside too now, right? So below 348, this could be a selling continuation. So we can come and just start taking out all these previous lows right here, right? So 340, 335, 331, 325, 316, so on and so forth. We can start to come down and take out all of those if this is a nice sell, right? Because look, when Tesla broke 368 a few weeks ago or in July, right? Look at the strong selling. So we could see something like this potentially here if Tesla wants to lose that 348. So that's the second watch I have. Tesla 348, right? 346.9 to 348 area. Uh, mark mark out your charts. And then the last one is Microsoft. I like Microsoft. I like Microsoft. So if y'all remember Apple from last week, it had a similar setup to this Microsoft where it's looking real bullish. But again, Uh, I'm calling the bluff on Microsoft, right? So what I'm looking for is to see if we're gonna break over these highs and fail and come back and potentially reverse. That's what I'm looking at on Microsoft. Now, if we go to the weekly on Microsoft, it does look pretty bullish. And if we get above 392.66, 392.66, that's upside, right? So if we break and hold above 492.66, it's upside on Microsoft. So we got a immediate gap to fill up to 495, and then we got those highs to tap into up there. We got the 500 cycle level. We got a level at 505 and then 513 area, right? So it'll be a weekly. This will be a weekly break if it does do that move. So uh, let me map that out right here real quick. 492.66. Thought I had it out there already. Yeah, 492.66. All right, smooth. And then if we go to the daily, is that today's high too? 494.44. So today's high is just 20 cents off of that weekly of last week's high. So yeah, we're definitely watching this level here. Let's go ahead and just put a box, right? So 492 point this area, right? All of this area right here. And then it looks like, oh yeah, it's already down post market. It's down at 487. So yeah. Yeah, so we can see we got resistance up here. And see, we sold from here. When is this? August. Look at this strong selling we got from this level. So I like this. If it goes though, it goes. I'm not gonna chase it. But I would like to see it pop up back up into this 490, 492 area, and then I like the downside. But remember, if it gets above 492.66 and holds break and retest, that's upside. That's upside because that'll be a resistance breakout, and it could pop into highs and reverse. So that's what I have on Microsoft, right? So the level I'm watching is 492.66. That's last week's high. And then the zone I'm watching is 490 to 492.66, around that area, right? So that's what I'm looking at on Microsoft. So SPY, Tesla, Microsoft, that's what we got for today, for today's game plan, right? So keep in mind, we got that data. We got a bunch of data before open, about an hour before open. NVIDIA earnings after close. So hopefully we get a breakout or some trending movement today where we can hold contracts. But market's been real rangy past few days, weeks, this whole month really. So let's see what we get and just keep it pushing, man. Also, another thing to note too is SPY is is been red for 8 consecutive days now. The last time it did that is a while ago. I couldn't find it, so it's got to be like a few years back that it has done this. So let's keep in mind. And then if we look at the Qs real quick, Qs as well too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive red days, right? So just keep that in mind. But yeah, good luck today, safe trading, and then I'll be on live with the chat I open up top.